No number.
Okay.
Number on the tank. See a number?
After about 100 days of war, we're facing the Hezbollah, which is a terror army that started shooting and firing at civilians in Israel since the second or the first day of the war. Our job is to defend the northern part of Israel. We evacuated some of the civilians so they won't be in harm's way, moved all our reservists to the front of the border, made plans, trained them, and we're now facing the Hezbollah and dealing with them. This time we'll look at 100 days of war is a long, long time, especially to reservists. Hopefully it will end fast. I have no idea, but we're prepared to do it until it ends. We can keep going until we are told that it's over.
The troops have been...
We're here in a defense combat, keeping the border strong and every day, and basically facing the possible threat that Hezbollah will try to redo what Hamas did in October 7th.
Basically, we're responding, but not going to wait until the
It was sinking in very fast that if we will not be here, they will be here. It sounds imaginary in October 6th, but it was the reality on October 7th. There are waves. There are days that are more combat days when they initiate attacks, mainly on civilians over here in the towns or on us. And there are days that are quiet. But for us, we are really considering even the quiet days are days of engagement, as we call it.
So,
אנחנו מציינים היום 100 ימים למלחמה, 100 ימים ליום הנורא שבו...
We today mark 100 days of war, 100 days since the terrible days on which our citizens were slaughtered and kidnapped. We are continuing to war to its conclusion, to total victory, until we have achieved all our objectives, the elimination of Hamas, the return of all our hostages, and the guarantee that Gaza will never again pose a threat to Israel. We will restore security, both in the south and in the north. No one will stop us, not The Hague, not the axis of evil, nor anyone else.
ולא אף אחד אחר. ציר פילדלפי הוא...
There is international law, and this law says something simple. You take a population out in order to remove them from a combat zone that endangers them, and you do not return them as long as the danger exists. There is widespread war fighting in Northern Strip, and I said this yesterday too to Secretary of State Blinken, and we will not bring back residents when there is fighting. This is the situation right now.
יש כמה אפשרויות איך לסגור אותה. אנחנו בודקים אותן, אבל...
The question regarding the defense budget, I think, is divided into two. The first is how much will be added for this year, and the second is how much we will commit for the coming years, and we have to give answers to both. The first is immediately for this budget, how much you are going to add for these years, and I instructed that in 8 weeks a special committee that we will create with the involvement of people from the Defense Ministry and the Foreign Ministry, and some others who will join in, will also give us their plan as to the huge additional for the coming years in order to create that independence in force build-up and in other things that are necessary to ensure our security in the coming years.
ועדה מיוחדת שנקים בשיתוף בין משרד הביטחון ומשרד האוצר עם עוד אנשים שהתווספו אליהם, ייתנו לנו גם את הסיכום שלהם על תוספת ענק, אין מילה אחרת, לשנים הקרובות, כדי לייצר את אותה עצמאות בהצטיידות ובדברים אחרים שדרושים להבטיח את ביטחוננו בשנים הקרובות.
First, that if there have been acts that may be characterized as genocidal, then they have been perpetrated against Israel. If there is a concern about the obligations of states under the Genocide Convention, then it is in relation to their responsibilities to act against Hamas's proudly declared agenda of annihilation, which is not a secret and is not in doubt. Astonishingly, the court has been requested to indicate a provisional measure calling on Israel to suspend its military operations. But this amounts to an attempt to deny Israel its ability to meet its obligations to the defense of its citizens, to the hostages, and to over 110,000 internally displaced Israelis unable to safely return to their homes.
Ultimately, entertaining the applicant's request will not strengthen the commitment to prevent and punish genocide, but weaken it. It will turn an instrument adopted by the international community to prevent horrors of the kind that shocked the conscience of humanity during the Holocaust into a weapon in the hands of terrorist groups who have no regard for humanity or for the law.